All right, my friends. Today, above everything else, is daylight saving time. Now, a couple of things I want you to do for me. Just do me this favor and you'll make my heart happy. First, have a conversation with anybody you know. Is it fall ahead? Do we gain an hour? Wait a minute. Do we just start off with that one? Because I have to do it myself. I said, wait a minute, if it's really 8 o'clock, but now it's 9 o'clock, so do we gain an hour? No, we lost an hour. Well, how do we lose an hour? Because we go through that. Also, ask people this question. What do you call this? What do you call this? Is it daylight savings or daylight saving? And it's saving. Daylight saving. And if there's one thing in the world, if there's one thing that I would vote for any candidate, or one of the most important things for me, is to get rid of this stupid, say, daylight saving. We are not working in the crops anymore. We don't have to have our kids help out during the... It's just absurd. I don't understand what this is. Saving time. Actually, that's summer vacation. But here's what you've got to do. Promise me you'll do this. Just do what I say. Don't ask any questions. You'll love this. Whatever social media thing you do, whatever it is, I want you to go on and tell them something to the effect of, and this is important, I want you to tell them online, hey, don't forget, set your clocks back. Whatever it is, you go and you say the opposite. Just do it. Say the opposite. And say, I can't believe how many people don't get this right. Make sure you set it back. You know, spring ahead, fall back. Whatever it, whatever you got me so confused. People will go nuts. They will go nuts. Just do whatever it says, okay? Whatever the rule is, you just go online and say the opposite. And people will not be able to contain themselves because they're like Margaret, you know, with Leave It to Beaver. Mrs. Canfield. What, Margaret? I know. Hey, do that. That's number one. Number two, I'm asking you something very, very important. To like this video. I know. Listen to this. This kills me. Like this video. Subscribe to the channel. Here's something which I found out. As of today, listen to this. As of today, almost 2 years ago, exactly, we lost 15,000 subscribers. 2 years ago. 15,000. I just want you to know that. I've got it here. And they tell you this. They tell you right to their face. Well, why did I lose 15,000? Well, I don't know. Maybe it's something you said. Something I said? They love what I said. Well, I don't know. Well, we got to clean those bots out. 15,000 bots? Well, they've always got an answer. 15,000. 2 years. Everybody else is at 1 million. 15,000 subscribers. That's why I need your hope. Your hope and your help. I like the first one better. I need your hope. 15,000. So like this. Subscribe to the channel. Do everything we possibly can. And if you want to support us, please do. We have all the means available. We have been demonetized, not demoralized, but demonized for reasons, again, I do not know. So that today we're going to be talking about Trump in Pennsylvania. 2 days from today. Do you know what that means? And I'm also going to tell you how all of my Republican friends hate me. Hate me. Everybody who said, did you see Trump last night? Did you watch him? I said, big mistake. What? I'm disowned. Maybe that's it. Maybe there were 15,000 Trump. I don't know. Think about that. 15,000. In any event, we're talking about that. I'm going to talk about politics versus issues. See, Americans don't want to talk about politics. They want to talk about issues. Hey, wasn't that great when Trump called him Ron DeSanctimony? I don't think he wrote that. Do you get the impression? I don't think he wrote that. Do you think he wrote that? I don't think he wrote that. Do you think that's a good idea? Do you think trashing Ron DeSantis is a good idea? Who thinks that? Anybody? I'm just saying, if I am just applying the rules of politics, elections, does anybody here think that's a good idea? Do you know who Ron DeSantis is? State of Florida. They love his wife, cancer survivor, one of the most effective, and you're attacking him? And he doesn't seem like he's going to be running. Look, you're Donald Trump. You don't have to attack any Republican. What do you want? I mean, you don't really have to do this. You only attack people who threaten you. Why is he doing this? We'll talk about that. And if you're not going to like what I have to say, I'm talking about something from a point of view of political strategy, not policy. I've got one friend of mine who thinks everything is like a Don Rickles, Dean Martin roast. Hey, did you hear that? Ron DeSanctimony? Are you kidding? Wasn't that great? Wasn't that great? No, that wasn't great. Come on, it was funny. Funny? They think it's a I don't know what they want to call it, like a roast. And they think this is great. Why? Low-hanging fruit trolling society. We'll get to that. Get ready for this. Get ready. So let me get the important point right off the bat. This is critical. Number one. I want you to understand January 14th. Number one. There's the information. I'm going to be at the Cutting Room. Get your tickets now. Bring the family. It's immersive. You are the star. Q&A. We talk. I engage. It's like this, but better. Nobody does this. Let me say it again. Nobody. Every kind of nightclub stand-up, it's not really stand-up. They stand up and it's all scripted. I mean, there's a little wiggle room. This is completely, I don't know. Because I know the issue and I know you. That's January 14th, Cutting Room, New York City. Go online right now. You can see, just go to the description section. There it is. And get your tickets now. That's number one. Number two, oh my God. Anybody talking about this? I don't think so. We're talking about Twitter a lot. But as the world is getting more and more dangerous and perilous with every passing day, it must make you and your family frightened because the threat is still here. Are you prepared for severe food shortages? In the old days, they said, oh, that was that crazy prepper stuff. It was like black helicopters or something. I don't think so. My Patriot Supply is going the extra mile to make their emergency food affordable now to you. How are they doing that? They're taking $250 off their 3-month emergency food kit, which is the minimum your family should have. The minimum. And this provides delicious It's not like, hey, open this up. What the hell is this? No, this is delicious, ready to make, easy to make breakfast, lunches, dinners, snacks. And for one person, for 3 solid months, get one of these for each member of your family, while you're able to save $250 during this timely sale. This is the 3-month emergency food kit. Remember, My Patriot Supply is the nation's largest preparedness company with millions of families already protected. These 3-month food kits are in stock and ready to go. Your order ships fast and free and arrives in unmarked boxes for your privacy. So go to preparewithlionel.com. Listen, preparewithlionel.com. Do it. This is not a whim. This is not a fancy. This is not some gewgaw. This is necessity. Food, emergency food. Preparewithlionel.com. Do it right now. Those who know what's coming are using today to prepare. Are you? Preparewithlionel.com. All right. Let me go back to what we're trying to say here, I hope. My friends, if you have just tuned in, by the way, please like and subscribe. Can't tell you. 15,000 subscribers in 2 years. Anyway, I love politics. I love the process. Going out. I love to look at the material. I love to look at the message. I love to see what are they saying. I like to see what incumbents do. I love the American system. I love the process. I don't love necessarily what everybody's saying. My candidate doesn't exist. My party doesn't exist. What I want doesn't exist. My worldview is completely different. I'm not looking at this, not what I like. Now, let me tell you what's happening. First, Trump, by all indicators, from the New York Times to Reuters to this, to name it, he's running in 2024. You got it? Looks like, from what we hear, Tim Scott is going to be his running mate. A great candidate, African-American, great. When it comes, sorry, but if you're going to be talking about politics, you must look at demographics. Joe Biden said, I want a black woman for a Supreme Court nominee. We got it. Stacey Abrams, I used to think Stacey Abrams would be a great Democratic running mate. I don't know now. I think her brand has been hurt drastically. I just don't think. And you have to be able to do this. You have to say what's in and what's out. Remember in food, remember when the no gluten thing was in? Everybody was saying no gluten, no gluten, no gluten. You notice how the gluten-free, anybody talk about celiac anymore? No. We're done with that. We're moving on. Anything about paninis? Remember that paninis were great? There's just trends. They're in, they're out. What's new? What's happening now? By the way, the greatest thing in the world you go to is the fancy food, not seminar, but the festival, the showcase at the Javits Center. Oh, it's fantastic. What's new? What's trending? The expos, food expos. I love it. This is, and you see what the new trend is. I'm telling you what the trend is right now. 2024 is going to be Trump, most probably Tim Scott, and Gavin Newsom, and if he is smart, a very good, very, I say attractive, I don't mean physically, that's nice, but I mean in terms of knowing the issues, an African-American woman. Absolutely. Absolutely. Makes complete sense. Now, let me ask you this question. For those watching now who are watching us live, what was the point of last night? Trump flew into Latrobe, Pennsylvania. This is, of course, Arnold Palmer territory. What was his goal last night? What was his goal? What was he trying to do? What was it? Number one, always politic. Always campaign. Always. You got that? Always. Number 2, who was he there for? Oz. What did Trump talk about for 2 hours? Trump and other things. DeSantis went in and decided to blast DeSantis, among other things. What did the Republicans do? They make fun of a man with a stroke and some goiter in reverse on the back of his neck. They make fun of the fact that he has to use devices. Do you understand this? Do you understand this? This is what Republicans do. What's their worldview? What do they want? What is it that they're trying to do? Tell me. See, I talk to my Republican friends and they go absolutely nuts because they want me to say, wasn't this great? They have a love affair with Donald Trump. They love him, and that's great. And some people love, I guess, Biden, or maybe, I don't know where they are, but I don't care about that. What's the 5, 10, and 15, maybe 25-year plan of the Republican Party? Nothing. Democratic Party, they got it all planned. The Democratic Party is like China. And I use that with all due respect. I know people don't want to hear this, but I'm going to say this. This is my opinion. China amazes me. I'm amazed, using the word correctly. In 1949, they were eating dirt. Look at them today. Xi Jinping said, there will not be a Chinese Gorbachev. There will never be a Gorbachev. You don't understand this. We have a very strict policy. The CCP is alive. There is no perestroika, no glasnost here. We are hardcore Maoist, Chinese, communist, whatever you want to call it. Oh, we have some socialism with Chinese characteristics, one belt, one road, all this. But we know. Oh, no. You think there's going to be some kind of reform? No. We're going to do this, 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 and this. This is it. It's spelled out. You've got to get back to the basics of love, as we learned in Lukenbach, Texas. Catholic Church. I'm a retired Catholic, but I talked with a dear friend of mine who's a priest. And I said, one of the biggest problems that Frank, the Pope, Bergoglio does is nobody knows what the fundamentals of the Catholic Church are. You got to have fundamentals. You've got to have fundamentals. If you like hip hop, if you like rap, if you like country music, if this is the core, if this is like your not your Likert scale, but your Overton window of rap, if you say, yep, that's rap, that's it, okay, and then you kind of you say, wait, you're going too far, you're losing the gravity. Nope, no, it's not, and then you lose. It's like country music, the stuff they're playing. Listen to anything they play on Fox and Friends in the morning. It's the worst country music in the world. It's this belt buckle kind of a easy pablum kind of. It's not country. It's for light. It's to country what Kenny G was to jazz, what Bocelli was to opera, what Garth Brooks was to country. You know what I mean? It's that kind of country for moms. Well, same thing with Catholicism, and same thing for democratic ideals. They know exactly what they're doing. What has been the Republican take so far? GOP. And it's been to attack Joe Biden. Attack Joe Biden, attack AOC, attack. It's always a roast. The best memers, the best political, what am I trying to say? The best political parodies are from the right. What do they stand for? Nobody knows what Dr. Oz stands for. Don't be surprised if he loses. Don't be surprised if he loses in Pennsylvania. Because they spent their whole time talking about Fetterman. Fetterman's this, Fetterman's sick, Fetterman's old, Fetterman's this, Fetterman can't talk. Good night, everybody. They keep saying this. In memes that have all kinds of proofreading problems. Is good night 2 words or is one? They don't know. The words are spelled wrong. But it doesn't matter because I'm the one who says, hey, okay, all right. We've been through that. We've been through that. Trump should have said, this is what Oz is going to do. And by saying that, he said, this is what I'm going to do. It's a very simple thing. This is not about Republican and Democrat. This is about being an American and being safe and being secure and being confident and how government can augment and supplement and help and enforce, not get in the way of you. But America means to have a strong economy. If you don't think inflation exists, if you don't think that a government or a system can be destroyed by a bad economy, you want me to show you some old Depression videos? Would you like me to play Buddy, Can You Spare a Dime? Would you like that again? And by the way, one word, please, do me a favor. This goes to, I know, Fox News is different because people think Fox News is, in fact, the Congress. I will never understand why people spend so much time caring about what Joy Reid says. I will never understand it. Or Joy Behar, or this Cross who was bounced from MSDNC. I don't get it. Hey, Joy Reid said that people learned the term inflation. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And you don't think there's you don't think there's inflation? No, they just learned that term. Well, really? Okay. That's what Joy Reid says. Who cares? But no, that was worth a segment. And you're not going to believe it. Well, here's the race lady. Okay, fine. That's great. Okay, it's TV. I don't care about that for politics. So what? So what? Next. I know nobody wants to hear this. I would ask Trump, what the hell are you doing? What does Ron DeSantis have to do with anything? What are you doing? Ron DeSanctimonious? What are you doing? Why are you wasting any time here? They love this guy. He's not your, maybe he asked DeSantis for vice president. You turned him down? Or I don't know. What are you doing? He is the most effective governor. He actually removed Andrew Warren, the state attorney, the DA in Tampa, my old office. Dear God, nobody's done this. He's got his wife who's recovering from cancer. Women love him. Navy SEAL, a real SEAL, Naval Academy, Ivy League. He's done, what are you doing? You don't have to mention him at all. And Dr. Oz is saying, what about me? Sorry, Oz, you're not saying anything. And by the way, Oz is the weakest. If Oz wins, it's only because it's Fetterman. Nobody voted for Oz. Look at me when I'm telling you this. Oz is the worst. He never said anything. He's the most unimaginative, the most uninspiring. You talk about a guy who can't talk. Not because of a stroke, but this delivery of his. Oh, no. He just leaves me flat. He is an Oprah acolyte. And what he did to Roseanne, I'll never forget that as long as I live. Just go back and watch it. But that's okay. That's me. That's personal. It's whatever it is. But he's going to go what? He's going to go to the Senate. You think this guy, do you know what happens once you're in the Senate? You're bored. You're the low man, the total. You're in the back. Okay. You've got a staff. You got to show up. What do? What? You know what most people want to do? They want to go on Fox News. But other than that, it's very wonkish. And you sit there and you say, okay, and you've got other people who are going to say, you're new here. You're not the big guy on daytime TV anymore. You sure you want this? You want to be a senator? You want to be okay, all right. If you got nothing better to do, you're 1 of 50, all right. 1 of 100, what am I saying? Excuse me. 1 of 50. You're you know what I'm saying. Now, I'm going to say this again. And I'm going to try to explain it in a way that people can understand. And you can take this or you can reject it, whatever you want. The way I see it is that the Democratic Party, and let me tell you something, listen to what I am saying. And this is where people really have a hard time with me. And I understand it. I understand it. It's something that bothers people, but it's true. It has been 655 days, I think, as of today. 655 days. Everything that you see right now, everything, from January 21st to today, go through every moment during the Biden tenure, the Biden administration, 655 days. And he turns the reins over on January 20th of 2025. We're not done yet. Not done yet. And that was done without Trump. I'm going to tell you what's going to happen that nobody seems to want to understand. Not my friends, not my Republican friends, Democratic friends. I've got to be fair. I don't really talk to a lot of them because they just assume I'm this or that and they don't really want to talk. And I never really hear them talk about Biden per se. But we'll talk about that. But very, very quickly, I want to talk about mypillow.com/Lionel. mypillow.com. Use promo code Lionel. Have you done this yet? Have you gone to the site? Go to my promo, not right this moment, but later on. mypillow.com/Lionel. Lionel, not Lionel with 2 L's. I don't know where that came from. And look at the big sheet sale, the biggest bed sheet sale ever. How about the MyPillow Percale sheet set sale, the Overstock sale, the MyPillow towel set sale? How about the towel sale of the year? How about the plush blanket sale? Look at all these sales. Mattress sleep systems, mattress toppers, down blankets. You just go through this. MyPillow.com, promo code Lionel. Sign up right now and get a free gift. And if you insist upon using a telephone number, as you are wont to do, as is your right, I beg, implore, entreat you to call 800-645-4965. 800-645-4965. MyPillow.com, promo code Lionel, Lionel. Okay, now listen and listen good. And if you're a Republican, Now, I am telling you, it's a very simple fact, what Tuesday represents. The Democratic Party, and you can use whatever word you like, the left, woke, radical left, whatever it is, DNC, they have it mapped out. And they knew absolutely. They knew they'd take a hit. They're ready to go. They know this. They know it. Nobody's shocked. But let me tell you what they're going to do. They've got 2024 mapped out. It's going to be Gavin Newsom, maybe a black woman. We'll see. They have the following programs and agendas. Climate change. You might want to say ESG. Whatever they've said before, they doubled. You know exactly what they believe. Exactly. Bail reform, it's not going away. Nothing's going away. Nothing is going away. All of the programs, all of the ones that are not necessarily sanctioned, but LGBTQ trans program is nothing's going away. Nothing's going away. They're adding on. They're either adding new programs on or doubling down on the intensity of that. Let me tell you what the Republicans are doing. Nothing. What do the Republicans stand for? Throughout this entire election, you know what they've done? They've merely been the mirror image of the Democrats. That's it. So vote for, it's like antimatter. Vote for the Republicans. They're not the Democrats. You think that's effective? Good for you. You're the one. If they think they're going to win like that, it doesn't work like that. What's your worldview? I don't know. Trump should come on and say, let's say 5 things. And that's pushing it. 3 will do, but 5 if you're really pushing it. Energy. And by the way, 2 things. Never mention the 2020 election. And he wouldn't, but never mention January 6th because you tell people you got nothing to do with it, so let it go. Never talk about what they're doing to your family. Never talk about how you're being sued. Never talk about how your guy was acquitted Friday in Brooklyn federal court. Don't. No, Manhattan court. Don't do this. A new you. Forget it. We know all about that. Yeah. You stole the election. Yeah. You won. Okay. I'm not done yet. Number 2, don't mention Biden. What are you gonna do with this? Talk about you. I know this is not a Trump thing. Trump loves to make fun of people. He loves it. He's very good. Like I said, if this was a Don Rickles roast, he'd be fantastic. And his crowd likes it. See, that's what he misses. The crowds love it, but we're not worried about your crowd. You've already got your crowd. I've been saying this a million times. I want somebody to listen and say, you know what I like? That's a Donald Trump I never knew. Boy, you know what? That's interesting. And it may start off like that, just a kind of a Why? Because that's who you're going to use. You've already got your crowd. I've got the Trump haters and the Trump lovers. They're not going anywhere, but I want somebody new. Right now, if he said, right now we spend, there's an interesting quote, because that quisling Neil Cavuto on Fox News had some general who was saying that we spend $2 million or whatever, an hour or whatever it was, on the Ukrainian war. Where is that going? Where is that going? We have schools and potholes and traffic lights, and we need stadiums and bridges, and go down the list. Why are we doing this? Why are we promoting a war? Why? Don't talk about Putin. Don't talk about just where is this? Where is there an accounting? Anybody know about that? Anybody know what the accounting is? Now, nobody will ever do this, but I would love to do this. You can say, ladies and gentlemen, if I ask you right now, if I said I'm offering you a prize to appear right now, if anybody here in this audience can tell me what exactly the Federal Reserve is and does, what do they do? Anybody? What is the Federal Reserve? That's one that always gets. Do you know what they do? Do you know what they do? Why does the President of the United States have to sit back and wait for the Fed to do something? Do you know that? Ladies and gentlemen, does anybody know here who can fire the Fed chairman? Who? Anybody want to venture a guess? I'll save you the time. No one. No one. Just say that and move on. You don't think it matters? Now, he has to have, it's one thing that Trump does that's really well. Smart. He is who he is. He doesn't pretend, doesn't wear a cowboy hat, doesn't go to a hootenanny and a hoedown. He's who he is. But if he would say, I want to show you something, and this is from this week. This is and he can use it because Trump doesn't go to the Piggly Wiggly or the Kroger's and shop. But let's just go through this. Now, let me ask you a question. Let's take the price of eggs, milk, lumber, whatever. Right now it costs this, and a year or so it costs this. Now, do you think there are fewer eggs? No. Are there fewer chickens? No. Do you think that raising chickens is more difficult now? No. Do you think has there been a chicken blight? No. So why is it that the same egg costs more today? Let's ask a mother. Let's ask a father. Let's ask pensioners and retirees trying to make ends meet. They will tell you. Now, why is this? Are there fewer paper towels? No. What is going on? And just ask them talk like this. Sounds like that guy's onto something. When the highest, it was in California, it was like $7 a gallon. And diesel, who knows? Was there less oil? No. Do you think that was because of Vladimir Putin? No. Why do you think that is? Very simple. If you think that's nothing that the federal government can do, that's fine. Then you and I, you know what? There's no reason to vote Republican or for me or whatever. But I don't think so. I know exactly how to fix that. So what Nixon said about Vietnam War, I know how to fix that. I know how to fix this. And the easiest, crime. Easiest. If ever there was something which was easy to do, not get to the underlying, but I mean make a drastic impact. By the way, please like this video, subscribe to this video, notify, hit the bell. But if ever there was something that could be really, it's crime. Don't address the following, that people are saying, well, there's that dog whistle again. There's that little racist thing about it's the crime. I think you know what he's talking about, don't you? Don't even address it. There is no reason why anybody in this United States should have to worry about a fellow citizen hitting them, assaulting them, robbing them, burglarizing them, raping them. None. Period. That's it. That's all I will say. There's no excuse. There is no excuse. We can argue about why certain things happen. There's no excuse for that. There's no excuse. There is no amount of poverty, no amount of drugs, no music, no songs, no influence that ever takes an otherwise law-abiding citizen and then compels or impels them to force this immiseration on the part of other people. None. It doesn't exist. None. I don't want to hear this anymore. I don't want to hear it. We can talk about addiction. There are societal factors in that, absolutely. But crime? No. Now, if you don't agree with that, I'm not the guy for you. But if you want something to be done, I know how to fix that. And he says that after each sentence. I know how to fix that. Like that. Immediately. Say it. Say it. Bank robberies are up 42%. Just go down the list. And I'm not here to argue. I'm not here to say this one's wrong. I'm telling you right now. This, and this. And right now, I look out on this beautiful crowd and I see these beautiful, beautiful children. And thank you, moms and dads and grandparents, for bringing them along. I see them right now. And you know what I see? The future. I see the future. Senators and presidents and doctors and lawyers and mothers and teachers and just good people. And it takes all of us. Somebody said it takes a village. Well, perhaps. But it takes all of us to make sure that nothing happens to our children. That they are allowed to enjoy an unfettered, uncontaminated, free and easy childhood. It's tough enough being a kid today without people. And then you have to be very careful how you say this. Without people tampering or whatever. There isn't anybody who say, yes. Nobody will say, uh-oh. There he goes again, talking about the kids. Nobody. And he talks very generically, and he wants people's eyes to be moist with tears of approbation, not tears from laughter because of that zinger you gave him against, De Sanctimonious. No. Every single time when people say, oh my God, wow, look what's happening. Pay attention. Look how Maureen Dowd. These are, by the way, these are very important people to watch. Targeting now Marjorie Taylor Greene. Watch her. Watch her. Not Boebert. Not Gates. That's for sure. Watch Marjorie Taylor Greene. Watch there to be this rise. Watch there to be predictions of untold violence. Pay attention. Watch what's going on. And then look and see how you tailor the argument for the American constituency. But Mr. President, every time you speak, remember, if you go to Latrobe, Pennsylvania, to speak on behalf of Dr. Oz, talk about Dr. Oz. You don't have to mention Fetterman once. Not once. In fact, there is nothing worse than not even mentioning. Ronald Reagan did it. Never mentioned Jimmy Carter. Talked about the beautiful city on the hill. Don't mention Fetterman. Why are you talking about a man with a stroke? Who are you? You think you're going to... There's one more joke out there? Do you ever watch these Norm Macdonald highlights where he sits around with his comics? And they come up with sometimes the most vile, but it's so hysterically funny, hilarious. I don't think so. Not even. But that's where we are today. It's vicious, scabrous, filthy. We don't need this. You don't need to talk about this. Everybody's been said. The election's Tuesday. Dr. Oz is going. He doesn't have to do this. He does it because he wants to. The future of this country. Boom, 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 boom. Energy, he knows what to do. And he's smart. And he spent his whole life in research. And he'll get the best and the brightest. And blah, 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 blah. Talk about Oz. That's why you're there. And then don't talk about you. Because technically you're still taking the money in. You talk about the future. Give me a worldview. Give me a picture. Give me something. Do you remember when people used to say, I'm from a small town, and in my town, you didn't even lock the door. Did you ever hear? I hear that now, and I still say, wow, where neighbors knew each other. You didn't even lock the door, where everybody was your parent, where you could discipline, I don't know about that, but everybody's kid. You better be careful. You better not have your teacher tell your father that you acted up. Today, these kids are absentee. They don't even know where they are. Some Zoom class? Sitting in some glass bubble with whatever it was. Can you believe there was a time when people used to, they didn't lock the door? Today we've got rings and this and that. Oh my God. Couch, a porch diving and I mean, people stealing everything. Just people going in and do you know what it's like? I don't know where you are. It's funny. There is a CVS in the hood, and everything is locked up. What is it? Toothpaste, body wash, deodorant. Yeah, I mean, it's incredible. This guy comes in, can I help you? Yeah, can I see this crest over here? Now, you go to other places. If you go to certain parts of New York or New Jersey, it's open. There's no lock or anything. Nothing. One day people are going to say, I lived in a place that was so good, we could actually buy deodorant without having to have some person come over. And I don't want to get used to that. And that's what Trump should say. I don't want to get... That's not the America I want. Do you? Do you? Toothpaste theft? You're locking up the toothpaste? What? What is this? The Soviet Union? And by the way, you know who's doing that? Government's not doing that. Joe Biden's not doing that. Democrats aren't doing that. Congress isn't doing that. No. Criminals are doing that. Do you think we should maybe do something about criminals taking our stuff? I know how to fix that. That's the message. Not, let's talk about the election. Let's make fun of Ron DeSantis. I've said it enough. Nobody likes me. I understand it. I don't fit in. I don't fit in. I tell people the truth. I tell people the truth. I'm saying, it doesn't work. Somebody said to me the other day, Trump's got to go in and do the right thing with Julian Assange. Julian Assange? Do you know how many people care about Julian Assange? You can't do every issue. Julian Assange, the guy who supposedly stole secrets, even though he didn't. That's what they think. See, this is where I don't know what people think anymore. There's this demented. Did you hear the other day a story? Oh, man. One of the most awkward moments I've ever heard, ever. And I caught this. This genius by the name of Jason Whitlock. Did you hear him with Tucker Carlson talk about Nancy Pelosi? And Tucker was like, I'm not going to repeat. But it was unnecessary. Who is tired of the Paul Pelosi story? I am. Who's tired of the Elon Musk $8 a Twitter? I am. I got the story. Next. Who's tired? Who wants to hear? You want to hear more AOC and this lovers quarrel with Elon? No. I don't want to hear that. Anybody? No. Are we still talking about Paul Pelosi? No. I don't want to talk about. I mean, it's done. We have midterms in 2 days. I'm going to say that again. We have midterm in 2 days. One of our incredibly bright family members here, Liz, writes, people don't think anymore. Absolutely. They don't think, and they don't think ahead. I believe, anybody here have a chess player? One of the most important games in the world for you to play. Chess and checkers too, but chess, where you put your finger on that queen or something, you say, now let's see. If I do this, you're going to do that. And you know what psychopaths do? They don't do that. They have no appreciation for consequence. Okay? They have no appreciation for consequence. That's all I'm going to say to you. Now, let me tell you one thing. Yesterday, Mrs. L did her first inaugural show on something called TNT Radio. And I'm going to let you in on something I shouldn't, but I'm going to let you in. She doesn't believe a word I say. She doesn't believe me when I tell her. And this is the link for you to go and to listen to her. She had her choice of guest, I think, is a bit suspect, namely me. But anyway, she doesn't understand how good she is on radio and broadcast. Has no idea. Has no idea. She doesn't. She thinks I'm saying it because I love her and everything. It's true, but that's. And she was incredible. So just you've got to listen to this. It's the most incredible of their, and I mean this. I would put her up against anybody doing radio stuff. There are people I hear, I'm not going to mention names, but there are so many people who are so boring, I'm thinking, what is the matter? And there are people who really, they have no life in them. And they talk like that. Hi, guys. Today we're going to talk. Oh, my God. Something wrong? Was there a death in the family? Or your goldfish die? What? I don't know about that. I can't. It's just me. I just don't. I think you shouldn't depress me 5 seconds into your broadcast. Anyway. But they're very popular. What are you going to do? Because remember, today is metrics. Metrics. That's why 15,000 subscriber losses in 2 years. Let me say that again. They just, at almost to the number, almost like 14,999. I mean, wow, it's almost like somebody turned it and said, hey, how much would you like him to lose? 10,000 over how long? A year? Okay. Just saying. If it walks like a duck, what are you going to do? All right? What are you going to do? All right, my friends. So please, I put up her link. Listen to her. She's fantastic. Also, you got to hear her on YouTube at Lynn's Warriors and her Twitter at Lynn's_Warriors. You seeing any big influx in Twitter numbers? I'm not.
I'm not seeing anything.
They say, hey, cat turd's back. Good. I think it's very interesting. Babylon Bee. Huh? Babylon Bee's back. Oh, okay. Oh, it's good. Anybody for me? Nope. Okay. Today we have the New York Marathon. The most obnoxious people you've ever met in your life. Who walk around with days wearing their medal. They wear their little medal that they get when they cross the finish line. Medal. And they wear their little baked potato foil thing. And I just ran the marathon. Years ago, one of the funniest things was somebody threw their little wraparound baked potato foil thing in the garbage. And a friend of mine, we were walking, and he was a tad inebriated with a cigarette, and he wrapped it around him. And he said, whew, I'll tell you what, that Heartbreak Hill was something else. I'll tell you what. Whew, whew. And they don't throw the medals away. I have a firm belief in running, and I want you to listen to me very carefully. Number one, we are bipedal. That means 2 feet. We are not quadrupeds. Quadrupeds are ready to run. And quadrupeds can transfer energy in over 4 legs, but we're okay. Now, one of my favorites is, have you heard the Kalenjin tribe? The Kalenjin tribe, these are the runners. These are my favorites. This is the running. Since the mid-1960s, the Kenyan men, the Kalenjins, have earned the largest share of major honors in international athletics. This one group of people. And there's this, I think in all time, I forget what the number was. They said in one, here we go. According to one story, listen to this. 17 men in American history have ever run a sub-2:10 marathon. 17 American men have run. And this is according to one, this was in 2013. This one result. It's very interesting. And there was a fellow, you should hear this. It's a great NPR. Actually, it was a TED Talk. And his name is, I don't know who he is. Anyway, David Epstein. David Epstein. Listen to this. This was in 2013. There are 17 men, he says, in American men in history who have run under 2:10 in the marathon. 17 in history. There were 32 Kalenjin men who did it in October. Now, when you point out supremacy, how body shapes and morphology, invariably people will get absolutely nuts. And by the way, I will provide this to you. This is an NPR article, so you know it's not at all biased or whatever, but it's very good. And it refers to this. David Epstein does a wonderful piece about it, and I just think that is so interesting. I can't imagine running. I don't know what my body morphology, which is redundant. Anyway, there's the article. The Kalenjins. But there are some people, by virtue of, they said that the way the contour of the legs, very thin, very spindly, acting as an easier fulcrum, is fantastic. Michael Phelps. There's a great TED Talk, I think by Epstein, same one. said that he was standing next to, he's like 6'2", 6'4", I don't know what it is. He's standing next to a regular runner. They both had the same inseam, like 31 inseam. But his torso was just ungodly. So that when he coiled up and sprung, he's off the block. He's halfway there. I mean, I just find that fast. Anyway, so that today is New York. We went to Central Park Friday. It was beautiful. And we're going nowhere near this. But they're here in the city, and that's great. And let me tell you something right now, and I want you to understand something. There are right now the population of New York City in all 5 boroughs is 8.5 million. And you talk about, say, well, the crime. Yes, in many respects, you're right. You're right. The crime has been up. But yet 99.9999% of the 8.5 million have had no crime ever at them. You understand what I'm saying? Think about that. It's there, but the majority of people, 99%, have not had any kind of encounter whatsoever. So always put things into perspective. All right, that's it. All right, my friends, you have a great and glorious day. Thank you so much. Make sure you check whatever it is they change automatically. I guess today, now it will be 9 o'clock versus 10. So we move it up. Spring ahead, fall back. Right? I don't know what the hell I did. Anyway, all I know is it's 10 o'clock Eastern time, and I've had enough. Have a great and a glorious day. Thank you so very much. Please, again, like this. Subscribe to us. Please, remember, I'm going to say this one more time, because the numbers, when I saw that, I couldn't believe what I was seeing. 15,000 unsubscribes in 2 years? 15,000? All right. Have a great and glorious day. Don't forget, preparewithlionel.com, mypillow.com, promo code Lionel. All right. Have a great day. See you tomorrow. Same time. Wonderful day. And don't forget, the monkey's dead. And show's over. Sue ya. Dead.